what we need to make our little cute bookmark here. We have to have a bell or a button or a bead or anything. And we're gonna need some size 3 yarn in green and red, our size 3 hook. I always have some needles, some fiberfill, my scissors, and that's it. Let's get started. The first thing we'll do is get our green yarn onto our hook, and always just tie it on. I know you guys have some fancy ways of doing it. And we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and into that first chain we're going to single crochet 9. For the next round, we're going to just increase a round. So we're going to be putting 2 stitches into each stitch, taking us from 9 stitches up to 18. For the next few rounds, up to round 5, we're just going to be single crocheting around. So that's 18 stitches on each of those rounds. Here we are, we're at the end of round 5, and for round 6 we're going to take it down to 12 stitches. So we'll go single crochet followed by a decrease. Single crochet, decrease. We'll do that around. It's going to be 6 decreases altogether, taking us down to 12 stitches. Here we go. You can see that the top has become quite narrow. And for the next 2 rounds, we're just going to single crochet in the round. So for the next ones, we're not decreasing or increasing, we're just adding a couple more rounds. Here we are, we're ready to do our final decrease. We're going to take it down to 9 stitches. So we'll go single, single, decrease. Here's our decrease. We'll do that 3 times altogether, taking us from 9 stitches to, taking us from 12 stitches to 9 stitches. Here we go, and I'm just going to fasten off. I'm going to leave about a 9-inch tail. And now is time to stuff it. So we're going to stuff it quite firmly, but not so that the stuffing peeks through any gaps. There we go, all finished. I'm just going to grab my tapestry needle and let's close this up. Wrong one. All right, so Now I'm just going to be gathering the outside. So just with my tapestry needle, I'm going to be gathering the outside loop of the last round together. And then at the end, I'm going to pull it tight and secure it with a knot. Alright, now let's just tie it off, and let's give it some shape first. So it's almost like a little pear. It's like a tiny little pear, this guy. Okay, let's tie it off, and we're just going to use that tail now to create some Grinchy hair. So I'm just going to slip it through and tie a knot. There we go. I'll just give it a little trim. Looks like my camera is not focusing very well. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to use my tapestry needle. I'm going to separate these threads, and that will give me the Grinchy hair. And when I'm done separating them, I'm going to trim them so they're all kind of different lengths to make it extra Grinchy. So now let's make the bookmark part. So I'm just going to chain 46, and when I get to the end of my chain 46, I'm going to turn it around, single crochet into the second chain from the hook and into each single crochet across. So that'll be 45 stitches all together. All right, we're coming to the end, and one thing I forgot to record was tying on a bell to the end. So you're going to use your tails to tie the bell onto the end, and then you'll sew it onto the head. All right, and here you can see that I've sewn it onto the bottom of the Grinch's head. And now comes the fun part. This is where we're going to embroider the face onto our Grinch. And I will tell you, you're going to want to take your time with this because working with such small pieces can be really, really tricky. So just go nice and slow, and nothing's going to be too complicated here. We're not doing French knots or anything. We're just going to use straight stitches. So I've poked that in to, I'm going to start with the eyes. I've poked it in about, I would say 2 rows down, 2 rounds down. I'm going to do 3 straight stitches, one on top of the other in the same place for each eye. The eyes will be about 1 or 2, well, probably about 2 stitches apart. Alright, just finishing that for the second eye. Now I'm just going to do 1 little tiny straight stitch for the nose. So I'm just going to poke it in between the 2 eyes. Keep these out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to just do a little straight stitch, and then I'm going to work on the mouth. So I'm just going to poke my needle through and then over to the left beside that eye, beside but a little further down. I'm just going to adjust here as we go. There we go, get that nose out. I'm going to take my time with my mouth and figure out where I want to go with it. So that's what you're going to need to do too here. This is the trickiest part of this project. So I'm just finishing with the mouth, and now is the last part with the eyebrows. So for the eyebrows, we're just doing upside down letter V's over each eye, and they don't have to be symmetrical because the Grinch's eyebrows are not symmetrical. And here's our little Grinchy bookmark. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy using your little bookmark and gifting it to everyone that you love. And make sure that you tag me when you make these. I love to see your creations. Thanks for joining. See ya.